You know what I think is so funny? No, I think it's so funny. When Jennifer first started here, you could barely hear her speak sometimes. It was very quiet. She's very quiet. Canadian, they're very quiet. They're not screamers like the Americans. But now, and she's been around, marks are up!
Well, she's saying it to me. She's like, shut up, Kim. I was talking to Dr. Ford.
Yes, that is true. She was saying it to you.
She was saying, shut up, Kim. She just didn't say it like that.
Jennifer never screams at me, just Kim. Of course, I scream at Kim. Everybody screams. Ron screams at Kim. Speaking of Ron, we are joined by our Bradley County historian, Ron Moore, who has joined us in the house. And today, I know, as every Wednesday, he's going to have something very interesting to talk to us about.
Right. Well, today's just not about Bradley County. It's about a holiday that comes all over America,
okay,
which is Veterans Day.
Yes.
Now, the first thing I would like to say, let me correct everyone about Veterans Day. Veterans Day is not apostrophe S or Veterans apostrophe. It has no apostrophe in it whatsoever. It's just plural. Veterans Day. It's for all veterans, right. And that and part of the that changed over the time. In 1917, originally, it was on the 11th day of the 11th hour of the 11th month. Okay. Armistice Day. I never say that right, do it? Armistice Day. Armistice. This was originally just a recognition in the United States. Well, actually in 1918 when it actually started. To honor World War I veterans. And so that went on for a while until about 1938, and then it actually became passed as a national holiday. In other words, it's considered that all federal employees get off is basically the way that you rule that. And it went on still as World War I as just that. Until 1953, it was then a guy out in Kansas who was a dad of a soldier. He said, we ought to start honoring all veterans. So at that time, it became Veterans Day. And then there are arguments about when it should be held and when it shouldn't be held. There for a while, it was held. In 1971, we went and changed the law to say that it would be on, I think it was the fourth Monday or first Monday of November, and then it went back in 1978 to being all the way on November 11th at the 11th hour on the 11th day.
Well, there you go.
So that's been changed over here. Now, do you know what the official Veterans Day meal is? I didn't know there was an official.
Oh, there's a meal?
Yes.
No.
Traditionally, ravioli.
Really?
Now, the ravioli is because a lot of the soldiers coming back and eating mom's home cook. You know, you imagine that the Italian immigrants in in America and in New York and things like that, ravioli being a great thing for them to come back to and to eat. So
no kidding.
Well, my goodness.
And lasagna is what I would think.
In a million years.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
Why? You have something wrong with the Italians?
I married one for the love of Pete.
That's what I'm saying. So what's the problem with the ravioli deal?
No problem. I just wouldn't have thought that
we have chips on our shoulder because of that.
Shut up.
So Veterans Day, and that which comes up not this Friday, but next Friday. And we always have a celebration here in Bradley County and in Johnston Park.
Yes.
You know, there have been some arguments about Johnston Park in the last couple of years. Right. Johnston Park, one of the things that they continue to do there, will be able to have the Veterans Day there. Program.
Now, Monday night when we did the block party, the tent set up right next to us was the Disabled American Veterans. Right. We talked with Bill Gray, which we're going to have him on the morning show.
He'll be on
shortly.
For Veterans Day.
Not shortly, but I mean in this couple weeks. But Bill was speaking, very strongly about the support of the disabled American vets. So whether they're disabled American vets or just vets that served, they do need our support. And they do need, of course, that day is a day to just kind of recognize them and hold them up for all the things that they do to keep our country free.
Trying to get his own day.
I do have my own day. Every day is Joe Palo Day.
Palo Day.
It is.
Palo Day.
That's right, every day.
And this Saturday on our radio program, we're going to be reading letters from veterans, from soldiers, from the Civil War all the way up through modern time. And we're going to encourage our reader to call in and read a letter that they got from a soldier while he or she was serving. And we've got some great stories. Like I say, all the way from the Civil War, we have stories from Bradley Countyans. So, and we will read some, and we hope our readers call in and read that also. And talking about letters, there was Dear John letters.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Dear John letter is supposed to be from to a husband or a boyfriend informing them that they're no longer going to be their husband and their boyfriend.
Right.
And the counterpart of that, of course, is a Dear Jane letter.
And what a wonderful thing for a woman to do, to send that letter to a man fighting overseas in war, and then tell him when he comes home he's got nothing to come home to. That's a good shot in the arm.
Well, yeah, it was. And of course, so why did they call it Dear John? I said, okay, let's go find that out. And there is no real reason, but here's a few of them. First off, they used to get, they talked about when they got a loving letter from that person home, it said, Dear Johnny, or My Dearest John, or simply Darling. And then when it started out, Dear John, it was like, oh, it's to the point. And then the soldiers called them Dear Johns. In other words, their girlfriend or wife was now somewhat of a prostitute, and they had Dear Johns because they had sold out.
I was thinking they were just putting him in the toilet.
The first reference ever in the press was in 1944. It's the first time that you heard the term Dear John in the public. And also John Doe, right. John Smith, you heard is just a common name. And in 1938 to 1944, there was a radio show called Dear John on the radio. So maybe that was where the Dear John came from. So there was some moves from some states to try to make Dear Johns illegal to send that. But we were fighting for the freedom of speech, so we couldn't deny those things at the same time. But there are even songs about it, Dear John, written by Hank Williams, and also the soldiers also coined a phrase at that time, that's all she wrote. Okay. So you've heard that term.
Yeah, that's where that
all
came
comes
from.
out of it. So a lot of things come out of our struggles and our wars over the years, and so Dear John letters.
It's sad though. It's sad the guys get. How
all
many?
she
I wonder
wrote.
how many Dear Jane letters really did go out. How many?
Well, there is no song called Dear Jane.
That's what I'm saying.
There's some Dear John
And,
letters.
the percentage of Janes to Johns,
I mean, you see how women are, Kim? I mean,
I
here's a
know.
guy fighting. That would have been you.
understand.
That would have been you.
Dear Joe.
I'd have gotten a Dear Joe letter. That's what they would have been
I
phrased.
wouldn't have written
Thank goodness I
John,
wasn't
but I'd have
born back
written
in World
Joe.
War II.
You were right, Dear Joey.
Dear Joey, or Darling?
Or My
No.
Dearest
My
Joe.
dearest Joey.
Or simply Darling.
If I saw
know,
that
I know
on a
he
letter
would
from
like
her, I'd be like, who wrote this for her?
But I thought the favorite one was when the soldiers called them Dear Johns.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good.
Absolutely.
But, we hope everybody comes out on, not this Friday, but next Friday, 11 o'clock, come out.
Yeah.
They usually have a small program, and
Mayor Rowland usually.
Mayor's Oral is usually the MC for that. So come out and honor those Americans, and this is for veterans of all wars.
Yeah.
And if you're running an ad about Veteran Day, I don't know what you sell on Veterans Day, leave the apostrophe out.
That's right.
Yes.
No apostrophe.
That's very good because that a lot of people do make those mistakes
From a grammar standpoint, that is correct.
with the apostrophe.
It is
Right.
correct, but it is not owned by veterans. It's a day
Right, it's
for
not
veterans.
possessed
So
of
that's why the
plural.
apostrophe
Right.
is inappropriate.
We'll see.
All
Yeah,
right.
we've
We
learned a
always
couple
learn
things
something
today.
from you.
Now, don't forget, Ron and Debbie Moore, as Ron was talking about the radio show, every Saturday, 10 to noon, Whoop Radio, 99.9, Old Town Cleveland. I'll never get it wrong now.
Yeah, you got it.
And this week, obviously, reading some letters from soldiers that sent letters home, and then that letters were sent to them, I guess.
Yes.
And either way, so if you have any letters out there and you're watching Saturday, call up and read some of those because those are quite interesting. I like to read those in the antique shops.
Yes.
You see those in there, and and then I always think like when the soldier's writing that, I mean, like was he writing that like in the foxhole, and was that what I mean? Was he right there doing it then? Or was it when he got back to his whatever they had, their barracks or their tents or whatever they had to, how did they get the letters from like wherever they're fighting over? I mean, who picks them up? Where does the mailman go there with his bag and throw them all in there?
While you was in those situations, you did not have to put it in an envelope. You could write it on the back of a piece of board, and there was no stamps required. They would mail a letter from a serviceman absolutely free, and no matter what you wrote it on, they would deliver it.
That's see.
Someone tried tanks, and they were a little slow.
Yeah.
No, you could
Take
have a
some
piece
time.
of cardboard if that's all you had in that situation. If you wrote a letter, in there. And found a few, I don't know if we're going to read or not, where they wrote the letter and died before the letter arrived. Those are sad things, and they're funny things, and just the warmth and the fear. The Civil War letters were really interesting, where people died. 5,000 people at a time died in a battle, and
to survive any of that, to have been a soldier in any of those wars and survive those initial, impacts like that.
And the reenactment of burning of the bridge in Charleston is coming up in the next 2 weeks, also from a Civil War standpoint. So,
but they're not going to really burn the bridge.
No, Southern Railroad sort of frowned against that one.
Yeah.
And but they actually burned it several times back during the Civil War. As the bridge was the most important part of the Civil War, per Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
So the bridge here was very, very important.
Yeah.
The railroad.
Well, and of course it's always interesting when Ron comes, because you learn a few things and find out some stuff.
A few things, right?
A few things.
I thought it was interesting. I was teaching literature. I mean, not literature, but grammar this morning. That's not been one of my strong suits.
But you taught it, and
Yes.
people are learning from you now from that. I mean, they can actually
and
say.
my old history teacher saying Ron's teaching history.
Right, I mean, the whole thing. But somebody's going to go out today and tell somebody about the Veterans Day. They're going to say, where did you hear that? Ron Moore. Ron Moore told me. I heard it this morning.
No apostrophe.
Internet.
Right, internet, yeah.
Right.
You can learn anything from the internet.
Right.
All right, well, Ron, thank you so much for being with us, obviously, this morning. He's with us each and every Wednesday morning, and next Wednesday he'll be back with some more information, some more history about our area. So you learn something on Wednesdays. It's not just all fun and games like on Tuesdays with Matt and Matt, or Mondays with Dan and Nancy on Thursdays and all that. We teach you something.
Yeah, we do.
But in any case, we got Dr. Dennis Ford that's going to join us here shortly when we come back. Remember, 38 degrees. If you need to be at work by 7, you got 5 minutes. So hurry up. 6:55, 38 degrees. Back with more Tennessee Valley this morning after this.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television, Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro-laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. Again, we want to thank Ron Moore for coming in and telling us some history here this morning. We are now joined by Dr. Dennis Ford of the Ford Center of Anti-Aging and Pain Management. And Dr. Ford, as we said, after today, is going to be my best friend in the
gonna be
world.
my best
he's
friend.
Gonna be
My
Kim's
best
best friend,
friend.
too. Dr. Ford, thank you for being with us this
Thank you,
morning.
Joe.
That's right, and we're depending on you to heal him.
He's already off to a good start. He's off to a good start. But Dr. Ford, let's talk a little bit about, I don't say my condition, but the conditions that you see that come through there and the folks that have to deal with it. Now, first of all, we mentioned anti-aging, and then we got pain management. So there's two areas of your practice. The anti-aging, from what you told us in the past, they're Botox injections, but Botox traditionally in the past has also been used, or was originally used for pain management.
I have
Yes.
pain right here and right here.
Right.
A lot of women
I
do.
have a lot of pain right here. Can you help me with that?
I always we use it for migraine headaches,
Okay.
and a lot of times that does cover the area of cosmetic effect too, depending where the headache is, and that does help that. We use it for neck and back pain also. Use it for patients that have had strokes, and they have pain with their extremities are torched or just constricted down.
Right.
So different things we use it for pain management.
And then, of course, obviously, you also have Botox treatments just for the cosmetic aspect of it
Yes.
and to get rid of, and not for anything, but we have a commercial, obviously, that we've run it, you've seen. And Dr. Ford, when he does the Botox injections, first of all, if you watch the commercial, there's no pain involved. It's not like it hurts. And when he gets done, and the lady that was in there that we saw that had it done, I'm telling you what, it's natural. It's not like a facelift deal that you get done and then you see, where it looks like somebody. It's just natural. The lines and wrinkles are gone. So when that came in, I guess more people realized obviously the cosmetic aspect, but then also I guess if they had any pain, it took that away as well.
That's right.
So it was like twofold of a great.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Kill two birds with one stone. I really want these wrinkles gone, but I do, my face does hurt, and now I've got it both cured. So I mean, now we move from that. Obviously, we go from the anti-aging with the Botox, but now we go into pain management. And what does that entail? I know there's a lot of areas of it, but
Pain
in a
management
nutshell.
basically depends on where, there's different areas where you can hurt all over your body. A lot of the areas we take care of are your neck and back, and then just depending on where your problem is, like your situation with your neck, I'm hoping we can get your neck pain to decrease some more, or hopefully to go away, hopefully to help you avoid surgery.
Yes, that's what I'm looking forward to. And I do know the first, when I first went to see Dr. Ford, we did have some relief.
And it was an epidural.
It was
Now, see,
epidural.
I had only ever heard about an
Me too,
epidural, is when you were giving birth.
Yes.
And I didn't do that with either one of mine. There were moments during that I was like, what's wrong with me? But, to do that. But my mom has sciatica really bad, and she
Yes.
has the epidural. So that was the
Yes.
first I heard of that. So how does that really kind of work? It's a steroid, I
Yes,
think?
it's a steroid. We do it under X-ray guidance where you can go to next where the herniation is. And it's a steroid. It's an anti-inflammatory. It takes the swelling and inflammation away. And a lot of times, if that goes away, the pain will go away, and hopefully the disc will eventually heal over, and your pain will be decreased and hopefully stay away.
Now, what was very unique is when I had it done, Dr. Ford did it, you lay on your stomach, and there's a machine where they literally, as he said, X-ray, they look and they see your spine as they're putting the medicine in. And it took it takes about 10 minutes, he said, to get it all in there. And he puts it in certain areas of where obviously the pain and the inflammation is. And really and truly, now after the fact, he asked me how I felt, and I did. I felt wonderful comparatively of how I did feel. And he said, okay, it usually takes a few days. I tell the patients that. Some people it's instantaneous. I don't like to tell them that because it may not be in their case. But in my case, it did help. But then you said, I think that in some cases it takes maybe 2 epidurals to get it fully where it needs to be?
Up to 3.
Up to 3.
We stop at 3 typically because we don't like to get too much steroid into your body.
And you can only do it like I did a couple weeks ago, like once every couple of weeks.
Yes, separate a couple weeks apart.
To do that. Now, I know there are other types of, my
Yeah.
mom has had just not the epidurals, but
Cortisone.
cortisone. I don't know. I don't know what you do. Are there different kind? I think she does like a radio frequency. Are there lots of different
There are
avenues?
different ways to
because
do it.
sometimes people don't respond to certain
Exactly.
types of treatments. And so you can do it all. You can, if you need to, you can just slap them around and knock them out. And then they don't feel the pain they were having.
We hope, like I said, we can hopefully get the pain to go away, if not significantly decrease where it doesn't affect affect your life, make you so miserable every moment of every day.
Yeah, and
Right.
which it's done. It's amazing that something like that can just completely, it takes away your focus about everything. It's really, and unless you've experienced pain like
Right.
that, you don't understand the relief that Dr. Ford can give you and help you to live a normal life and think about normal things instead of how much this hurts. Now, the epidural itself, the steroid, how does that work? What? I mean, I know you say it yeah. How? I mean, I know. Let's talk about the procedure. You stick the needle in.
I numb you up first, then
Right.
you go through the
Right.
numbed up spot until we get down to this epidural space. We do it under X-ray guidance where we can make sure we're there in the right space. We put a contrast to show the epidural line actually, and it goes around the disc, and then we put the medication in there, the steroid in there at that time. It takes about 3 days to take full effect typically. It may last for a few days to forever. It's just hard to say. Usually it takes more than one. Usually it takes anywhere from 2 up to 3. And I'd say it's about 75 to 80% successful. Neck surgery, if you have to have neck surgery, is about 90% successful. Right. But there's a 10% failure rate with neck surgery. So there's nothing on the spine is 100%.
Right.
Like I tell my patients, the only thing I know besides that is for sure is death and taxes. It's the only guarantee I know.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And you know, people, and I didn't realize, and especially now that I've had him for 2 months, but I mean, chronic pain is not a fun thing. I mean, I started really realizing with my mom, you know, as she's gotten older and she was taking care of my dad, she had a lot and just was chronic pain, and you just can't hardly think or function. And now there are many ways that they can manage that pain that doesn't have to be drug. I mean, I'm sure medications have to be used. Joe doesn't really he doesn't take anything. Joe takes nothing. He's been taking ibuprofen and Tylenol. He's been setting his alarm because that's the only relief he can get. Yes. And I'm sure that medications are used, but there are a lot of procedures out there and a lot of things you can do now to manage your pain, and you don't have to be on medication all the time.
That's true.
Although that does have its use.
That can be last resort at times.
Right.
But I like a patient like you that likes to try to do all they can to get the pain to go away without having to be on pain medicine.
Yeah, and because the whole thing is, I mean, if you've got to drive or you've got to work and function, you know, you need to be kind of at your best. And the chronic pain is, and I told Dr. Ford, if somebody said to me, listen, there's nothing we can do, you're going to have to just live with this, I don't know that I could. I mean, honestly, it's like water torture. It's a constant ache that you can't deal with.
He has not been able to function, you know, and so I mean, that's really something that you can help people with, because I mean, really, his life, his quality of life, his ability to do his job or to think. Sometimes he's like, Kim, I can't think. All I know is that this hurts, this hurts, this hurts. Yes. And so that's really great that they can come to you and you can give them some level of relief, you know.
I experienced the same thing myself, the same pain you did about 16 years ago. And I was miserable for about 2 or 3 months. And I tried several different venues to try to get better, and then I finally did this. And I thought, if this doesn't work, I guess I'm heading towards surgery. But so far, 2 of them helped me tremendously.
Oh, man, that's
so I kind of sympathize with my patients because I've been there, done that, so to speak. You know.
Right.
Now, the surgery aspect, nobody wants to. They always tell you, you don't want to get surgery if you don't have to have it, obviously. But that's, as you said, that's only 90% successful. So you could have the surgery done, and they fuse all those vertebrae together, and you still have the pain.
Well, there you go, Happy Kathy.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, that's something you need to look.
Mind straight before you go over there.
Well, I mean,
I'm
you need
believing that you're going to be
you
better
have to think of all those. You have to think of all those things, and that's obviously the last resort. You don't want to have surgery if you don't, especially on your neck or your back. And Dr. Ford can help. And a lot of different areas in trying to alleviate the pain.
I'm going to have him work on my pain.
Yeah. Well, I know. Well, you know, your face.
Don't even. I know. I was
the whole joke
right
there. Your face is hurting me too.
Killing him too. But he's hurting too. But yeah, I can.
Well, let me ask you this, Dr. Ford. Somebody watching right now, if they're experiencing lots of chronic pain and they want some relief, do they have to make an appointment? Can they just be a walk-in?
Do they need a referral?
A referral?
We don't need referrals. They can just call and set an appointment. We try to work them in, and you know, we have openings that pop up today. We try to work in as soon as possible.
Okay.
I was going to tell you another thing I really a passion of mine also, along with chronic pain management, is the anti-aging hormone management, the bioidentical hormones.
Okay.
Having a lot of success with our men and women. We're actually either doing creams or implanting pellets that last you about 4 to 6 months. Gives you energy. Helps your brain, helps you think.
Okay.
The testosterone receptors are the most testosterone receptors in your body in your heart in men, and when men, so it strengthens and protects your heart also.
Wow.
So,
No kidding.
so we got a lot of my men and women just feel so much better when they go through. Men go through andropause, and women go through menopause. And so it really that's probably one of the biggest anti-aging things I like to do. It makes a big difference.
Oh, now what do you do with that? I mean, now it's a cream,
You
or
can do
you
a
have
cream
a
or
implant?
an implant, a pellet implant, which lasts about 4 to 6 months.
No kidding.
What is it?
Bioidentical.
Does it just kind of balance out your hormones?
It brings
or-
you back up to the youthful level of a 20 to 30-year-old.
No kidding.
Yes.
I'm in.
That's probably my passion of anything I do. I
No
like to help
kidding.
people feel better, and just we want to look good, but we want to feel good too. You want to be on top of your game mentally and physically.
And you said it helps with thinking?
Oh yes.
I'm signing
no,
up.
the
If
key-
your levels
the-
are low, we check your levels if they're low. Yes.
The key
Your
is
thinking levels
the
are
key
low.
is he expressed how it helps women going or getting ready for menopause, because there
right,
is a
just-
demon that lives in our house. Trust me, that comes out from time to
She's
time.
51, God love
She's
her.
51 and she's trying to do it naturally,
right.
and it's
Oh.
killing me. I think that's what hurt my neck.
I know. Don't
Well,
talk to me
and,
like
and
that.
and seriously, there is a lot of issues with that today. A lot of women are experiencing that, and some men do not understand. And I'm trying to be more understanding. But a woman going through menopause is seriously, it's like a total reversal of personality at times, and it's something a man has to deal with. Or,
need to hush.
the Dear Jane letter comes into effect. And that's where that comes into effect.
I'm having a hot flash right now, so you need to hush.
But no, I didn't know that men kind of went through
Oh,
that
men
same
go
thing.
through andropause. Men can have hot flashes. But you remember the movie Grumpy Old Men?
Yes.
Those guys had low testosterone, no energy,
Okay.
no sex drive, always in a bad mood. Just want to just take naps all day long. Don't feel like doing anything. The men are catching on to this, and they love it. They come in and I've had it within 3 days up to 2 weeks. They're saying, "Man, you changed my life."
Wow.
Really?
I have a 70-year-old patient of mine. He happens to be my father-in-law. He used to take naps during the day, and he was getting tired. And we did this implant on him. He just goes from 6 in the morning to 10 at night.
No
No
kidding.
kidding.
He's 70 years old.
Now, what does that entail, and how long does that take to?
And what we do is we do the blood workup to document that your levels are low. And
Okay.
if they are low, we do the pellet implant. It takes about 10 minutes to do this procedure. We'll numb you up, and it takes about 10 minutes. And there's no stitching, no stitches or anything like that. And about 3 to 10 days, you start feeling better, and just overall mood. But there again, it's truly an anti-aging thing for your brain, your muscles, your heart, your immune system, just your bones, builds bones. So to me, I have a passion for that. I love that. Because it makes a difference in how you feel. If we get your pain better, then we can work on that next. If you have a problem.
Yeah, that's
Bill
great.
just mixed us right up. Well,
I'm telling
I
you.
know. Joe will be
Well,
kin. and
let me
we'll
ask you though. Now, is
Mattel.
what you give them or put in them, is it based on their age, their weight, their size,
And their hormone levels.
hormone.
Okay,
And the
so
levels are at. We want to get to the upper limits of normal.
Right.
Of a 20 to 30-year-old.
gosh,
Wow, that's great.
that sounds.
Well, guys,
exciting.
you know who to get in touch with if you
Yeah,
you
no
need
kidding.
some brain work and some heart work and to just feel better. All of that, there is hope for us middle-aged. I mean, really, truly over the middle-aged point,
Right, no, right.
and that are having mood swings.
Well, but if you are experiencing any chronic pain whatsoever, you need to just visit with Dr. Ford and let him kind of give you a consultation and just talk to you about what it may be you're experiencing and how he may be able to help. Because, as you said, it's not just the epidurals. There's cortisone shots. There's all types of different pain management to manage the pain, which doesn't necessarily always mean lots of medication to stay on and that type of thing.
Right, and then he can, if you're just dragging tail, he can help lift you up and feel better. So that's a great thing with the therapy.
Well, Dr. Ford, tell us where you're located, your phone number, and that type of thing.
Okay.
So if those watching, if they're-
2020 Key Street, and just right across from Stewart Elementary School. And we're on, my website's fordcenters.cc, and my phone number is 423-614-0535.
Wonderful.
All right.
And you're open Monday
Through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Yes. So we start early, 7 in the morning. So.
Woo!
Wow.
There you go. He's 30 minutes behind us.
I'm telling you. But honestly, the first epidural I did experience some relief that I hadn't had in 2 months. and enough to bear
Another
it.
one today.
Enough to bear it. And we get the other one, and I mean, I'll be on top of the world.
Here we go.
King of the world!
That's right.
But in any case, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
with
Joe.
us, Dr.
Thank
Ford.
you.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
And again, Dr. Dennis Ford, 2020 Stewart Road?
Street.
Key Street, which is right across the street from Stewart School. You can't miss it right there. You'll see Dr. Ford's clinic, and just make an appointment, stop on in. All right, we've got Christian Hufferly going to talk with us about German Saturday School coming up when we return to Tennessee Valley this morning. We hope you're having yourself a good Wednesday morning. It's 7:13 and 38 degrees. We'll be back with more after this.